Okay, so starting back in like the early 2000s or so is when this became a problem. So let's say we have Joe, right? Joe has, he's got good credit. He's got, good payment history on top of that. And he's got, W-2s, verification of income, basically is what we're looking for. Verification of income. He's never behind. We like Joe. Joe's great. Joe says, okay, I would like to buy a house, right? Little house, little Joe, great. And so Joe, of course, doesn't really have the money to buy, let's say a $200,000 house outright. So Joe goes over here and he goes to the bank, right? Oh, pretty bank. Okay. Joe goes to the bank and says, hey, I got about $20,000 I can put down on the house. Actually, let's say 40. So that means like his loan to value of the house is about 80%, which is good, which means right now, well, he's going to be borrowing, 160 or something like that. He still has got quite a bit of equity that he's going to have in the house with this, and that kind of gives the bank the reassurance, okay, he's not going to default on this loan because he's already put this much money into it. He doesn't want to lose that. So that's kind of where we start. So we've got people like this, and the banks kept doing loans for people like this, and they're making money off of this, and everything was great until there was no more people like Joe left. All the Joes are gone, and the banks are not making any money. So we find people like Susie. Susie has like $7.25 an hour. She's worked at McDonald's for like 4 months. And she's got like a FICO score of like 550. Her credit's shit, right? Okay. Susie wants to buy a house, right? Little Susie, wait, for $200,000. And the bank says, well, what are these people to make money off of? Guess we gotta go to Susie. She doesn't really make a lot of money. She probably won't be able to repay the loan. But fuck it, because guess what? This house sits on this property. And this property itself is usually probably going to be about, the property is really what you buy, what you pay for. So let's say the property at least is going to be worth, 160. Say that, just to say it. So we'll say, okay, well, Susie can probably only put down about $10,000 on the loan. And she's probably going to default anyways. So we'll get mortgage insurance. So you've got MPI, yeah. That'll cover the top 20% of the loan. So $40,000 in insurance. I get this $10,000 over here. So when Susie defaults, we'll still make money, which is terrible. But the banks had to make money somehow. But on top of that, let's say we've got another person up here. We got Gerald. We like Gerald. Gerald's a dope-ass bitch. All right. Gerald bought the house, same deal. Whatever. But let's say on top of that, the house maybe needed some work. So we'll say the house was worth $160, right? $160K. And let's say that the interest rate on this was a fixed 30 years at, 4%, which is kind of high right now, but 4% at the time. Okay. But on top of that, we'll give him a home equity line of credit. Even though there's no equity in the home, he'll think he'll pay it back, which he won't. Because we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just say it's for, 8 years that this home equity line's available. And let's say he's got a line for $50,000. And the thing is, with these home equity loans, you only have to pay interest. So if he takes out an initial $10,000, say it's 3% interest. The only payment he has to make is 3% of that $10,000. Let's say, makes those payments. What about on year 4? He draws out another $10,000. So now he's paying 3% on $20,000. But guess what? This whole time, he's only making payments on the interest, not the principal. So at the very end of the loan, he's either going to have one of two things happen. One, have a balloon payment. What that means is at the very end of year 8, the bank says, okay, term's up. Time to pay this $20,000 back. You have 30 days. Which in turn means, guess what? There's a lien on this house for this loan. There's a lien. Guess what happens if Gerald doesn't pay the loan up front? They take his house. Take his house. Oh, great. Or they could say, we'll put this into a second mortgage. But this one's at 4%. That's great. But guess what this one's at? So now, you got a $20,000 loan, could be up to $50,000 at 12%. You're never going to pay that off. You're going to be sucked into interest for the rest of your life. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you lose your house. Back down here again, they get the property. Mortgage insurance pays off the top half. And yeah. But the real reason behind this is the crash is because when this happened, the property value went down. Because this kept happening, the property wasn't worth $160,000 anymore. It was maybe only worth $80,000. So then the banks needed somebody to bail them out. After everybody started defaulting on their loans, and the bank was losing money. That's what caused the stock market to crash. And the government had their hands in all of it. So then they were the ones that had to bail the banks out. So, interesting. So now, things like these loans with Susie, I used to not even have to verify income. I used to not even have to look and see if they can verify that they're going to be able to pay it back. Now you have to. Ooh, I marked on my table. I can get that off. But anyways, that's what happened.